In this lesson, you're going to learn how to find the lateral area, surface area, and volume of a pyramid. And the first thing we want to talk about here is the formulas. Now, the formula for lateral area, the lateral area means the area of the sides, which of course in a pyramid, the sides are made up of triangles. So we can use this formula 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height. L is for like the leaning height or the slant height. That would be 5 in this particular example. But I just want to show you where the formula comes from real quick. If you find the area of one of the triangles, which we know is 1/2 base times height, and we multiply it by the number of triangles, let's just call that n times b, okay, so b represents the base of the triangle, times the number of triangles, that would actually end up being the perimeter. So that's why n times b we write as p. The h is the height of the triangle, but in the pyramid we call that L, or the slant height. So that's where this formula is coming from right here. For the surface area, though, we're going to take the lateral area, which is the sides, and we're going to add on the base. So when you see that capital B, that's the area of the base. So whatever shape that is, if it's a hexagon, you have to find the area of a hexagon. If it's a square, find the area of a square. And then lastly, the volume, 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. And what I try to demonstrate here is that if you were to put a pyramid inside of a prism, and if the bases are the same and the height is the same, you could actually put 3 of these pyramids inside of that prism, okay? So that means that one of these is only going to take up 1/3 of the volume. So let's go ahead and work through this problem here. The lateral area is going to be 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slant height. The perimeter is going to be 4 times 8, which is 32. The slant height is 5. You don't want to make the mistake of using this, what they call lateral edge. Okay, that's where the lateral faces come together. You want the height of the triangle, that's the slant height. So this comes out to 16 times 5, which is 80 units squared. Remember, area is square units. Now, if we want to find the surface area, we just have to add on that square on the bottom. 8 times 8 is 64, that's the area of the base. So if we add on 64, we're going to get 144 units squared. And then for the volume, we're just going to do 1/3 the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 64 times the height. Oh, we don't know the height. So how are we going to find that height? Well, what you can do is you can make a triangle like this. So if this side length is 8, that means this must be half. It's 4. And then you can see that this is a triangle here, a right triangle. We can use the Pythagorean theorem, or if you recognize your Pythagorean triples, this is going to be a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triple, which makes that height 3. Of course, you can use the Pythagorean theorem as well. 1/3 times 3 is 1, times 64 is 64, so we get 64 units cubed for the volume. Now let's do a more challenging one that involves some trigonometry, and let's do that one next. Okay, number 2, we have a pentagonal pyramid, because the base is a 5-sided regular polygon, and we want to find out what exactly is the lateral area, surface area, and volume. See if you can do this one on your own, and if you get it right, let me know in the comments below, because I definitely made this one more challenging. But the first thing I would do here is I'd recognize that they're giving us the overall height, which is h. They're giving us the slant height, which is our L, which is 13. And if we do our Pythagorean theorem, we can find out what this length is right here, and that's going to be 5. It's a 5, 12, 13 Pythagorean triple. Now, let's take a look at this base. Let's see if we can draw it a little bit bigger here off to the side. Now, this 5 right here, see how it's the perpendicular distance from the center of the pentagon to the side? That's our apothem. So this is going to be 5 right here. And remember, when you worked with regular polygons, meaning all the sides are congruent, all the angles are congruent, you can find the central angle by taking 360 divided by 5, which is 72 degrees. When we drop the altitude, it's going to bisect that central angle. That's going to be 36 degrees. Now we can find out what the length of this side is. Okay, so let's see, what is that going to be? Let's just call this x. So we've got opposite and adjacent, that's tangent. So we have the tangent of 36 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. If we multiply both sides by 5, you can see that x equals 5 times the tangent of 36. And let me see what that is on the calculator. I'm going to round a little bit here. So it's about 3.63. Now, if I double that to get the length of the side, that comes out to about 7.27, just rounding here. And if we want to find the perimeter, we would take that 7.27 and multiply by 5. So that's about 36.33, okay, for the perimeter. But now what we want to do is we want to find the lateral area, okay, of this pyramid. So lateral area is equal to 1/2 the perimeter, which is 36.33, times the slant height, which is the L, the leaning height here, which is 13. So let's multiply that out, times 13 times 1/2. So we're looking at a lateral area of 236.13 units squared. If we want to find the surface area, which is the total area, so we have to add on that base, we're going to take the lateral area, which we just found, plus the area of this pentagon. What's the formula for area of a pentagon? Well, regular polygon, we use the formula 1/2 apothem times perimeter. The apothem we said was 5. That's this perpendicular distance from the center to the side. And the perimeter is going to be 7.27 times 5, which we said was 36.33. So let's see if we can multiply that out. 36.33 times 0.5 times 5. And then that's about 90.83. And we're going to add it to the 236.13. So this is about, okay, I'm rounding here, so it's about 326.96 units squared. That's for our surface area. Now for the volume, we have to use our formula 1/3 area of the base times the height. Well, we found the base, which was the 90.83. So it's going to be 1/3 times 90.83 times the height. Now you want to make sure you use the overall height for the volume, not the slant height. So this height's going to be 12. And 1/3 times 12 is 4 times the 90.83. So it looks like it's about 363.32 units cubed for volume. And you got it. If you want to see more examples with like cylinders and prisms and spheres and all different shapes using lateral area, surface area, and volume, follow me over to that more comprehensive video where we go through all these different polyhedrons, their areas, volumes, shapes, etc., and how the formulas relate to one another to help you memorize them more easily. So I'll see you in that video right there.